sir, who the
Damien Darkblood.
Oh, I've been wondering when Damien Darkblood would make a return.
You in hell. There's a worse place waiting for you.
Right now, that's Earth.
I had to stop Russ.
I had no
Where
choice.
are you going? To get my son.
Yeah, a lot of things coming to a head.
Place. You sell yours.
One of these things is not like the others in terms of stakes. But what do I know? Oh yeah, and also Eve's pregnant.
Everything all right?
Yes? This show has a way of like sneaking up on you. You're like, oh yeah, that also is happening. Oh yeah, that villain. So many extreme things happening all the time.
What's going on, kid?
Having a hard time. And I could use some fatherly advice.
I
didn't have a
didn't have
choice.
a choice.
There
Or
it
at least
is.
I don't think I did, but I don't know if that matters.
Boy, it seems like Mark could really use a father, right? A man can dream.
I almost did it again. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, that was a little bit
I
different,
had my
honestly.
hand around this guy's throat, and I wanted to kill him so badly for putting my brother in danger.
I will not judge Mark for wanting
you
to kill.
didn't.
Right, yeah, I think that's what it all comes down to.
I'm him, Art. It finally happened.
There'd have to
I
be
mean-
a lot more death and destruction in your wake to make you like your dad, Mark.
I don't think you are properly respecting your father and his accomplishments. I don't think you have the right to say you're Omni-Man until you have used your son's face as a battering ram to vaporize a crowd of humans. I don't think you've achieved the level of creativity. Look, if we're judging people for wanting to kill someone, then let he who is without sin cast the first stone. If you've never had a violent impulse, wow, you are truly blessed. Or you're just like completely, I don't know, have you been asleep your whole life? Maybe you've never left your house. But I mean, that's just impulses. It's just thoughts. I think it's fine to have emotion, even extreme emotion, especially if that is appropriate given the extremity of the situation. For Mark, I mean, people's lives are at stake, not least of all his family. So yeah, you might feel a little bit angry and threatened by that, right? At any rate, I don't think the identity matters one way or the other. You are your father, you aren't your father. I mean, what do you want to do? What's the actual problem and how do we fix it or avoid it?
I should give this back to you. I don't deserve to wear it
Oh,
anymore.
stop. You're just being dramatic.
You know who never came in here worried he was making mistakes? Huh?
Right. For Omni-Man, it was right because he did it.
I'd be thanking you all the way to the pearly gates.
I think a lot of people, well, I'll speak for myself. I honestly feel the same. You know, if I was Russ, I don't want to be responsible for that. This is not the same category as just cold-blooded, heartless murder. And yeah, I think the fact that Mark is torn up about it is a great sign of where he is and who he actually is. Not that that makes him safe somehow, right? Like that doesn't mean he's immune from mistakes because he feels bad about what he does. But I think we can at least eliminate sort of the categorization error of it. You know, of like, I just am doomed to have this be a problem. This is some mark on my soul or DNA or something. I mean, I think his instinct is so good, even in the phrasing of I crossed the line. Because I think when you look at people who are in the extreme range of mistakes, rarely did they start there, right? It starts with minor transgressions and you let that slide. And, you know, now it's sort of normal. And so it's not that far to the next line, etc. So those are sort of important to safeguard. But when it goes well, I think these are sort of reckonings. That was terrible. Let's never do that again. And it's tricky, but I think that there is some grace in treating the past and the future differently. The future is potential and there's still a choice. The past is already formed. And so you just had to make that mistake. The fact that it happened means it was going to happen. The future, however, is still open. You cannot make such an excuse for what is to come because that's yet unwritten. You have to do better. What I would ask Mark, what I would like to hear is what would you have done differently? Putting yourself back in that same state. You didn't know when they were going to arrive with the device or whatever. Would you have even done it differently? You know, is it really that obvious? If not, maybe it's time to kind of let yourself off the hook a little bit. Maybe in that situation, though again, like not to shrug off responsibility or make excuses. There is a point at which it was just a bad circumstance. There is you and your decisions and there's also the circumstance of it. And I think though it's difficult, those are very different things. And maybe it's worth trying to tease out what's what. Like we know this goes wrong when we're blaming ourselves endlessly for things that we had no control over whatsoever, that we couldn't have possibly changed. Or another extreme where we had every opportunity to do things better or to avoid the problem, but we're blaming someone else, right?
There's still a line.
You know, I'm glad to hear him say that. So what is it
You
then?
think
Maybe
you've
we can define
changed
it.
for the worse, but I think you're still that kid who came in here a few years ago wanting to make the world a better place.
I think so too, and I think he's
It's
just
that the
hitting
world isn't as
upon...
cooperative as you
Right,
think.
he's hitting upon the logistical difficulties of it.
Yeah, I felt like we were gonna need these colors again, so I whipped it up a while back.
Oh, wow, he was prepared for this.
Thanks, Art.
Maybe we go back to basics.
Hey, Eve.
Big
Oh,
news.
it's fine. I
Guess
can do a
what?
job.
A job.
Where?
In hell, the second worst place in the universe after Earth. After Chicago.
The vial will not be set free.
Okay, sure. There's a lot happening in hell right now, apparently. It's a cool weapon. It's like a lava axe. Maybe this isn't
Your
hell.
kind
Maybe
are
this is
forged
just a
in
volcano
flame.
somewhere.
My kind is the flame.
You adopted the darkness. I was born in it.
Shred your bodies against the unyielding will of Volcanica.
She looks cool.
Let those who cannot be burned burn once more.
It's a lot of talk about fire and burning, but you know, you sort of have to forgive them, given the fact that they live in a volcano. I'm hella lost right now, if I'm being honest. What is happening? It's volcano versus hell or something. Who are we rooting for right now? Cool. Nice silhouettes.
My magmanites are infinite.
They look like they're pretty easy to make. Imagine invading hell. 1 HP, 1 HP, 1 HP. Yeah, it was a trap. It's just fire. She's just fire, right? I'm not convinced that she's mortal, that she can be harmed.
Hurt badly.
Father did worse.
Something he has in common with Mark, and Omni-Man for that matter, turns out. Wow. Okay, yeah, there it is. And fully healed, full recovery. Oh my god. Speaking of similarities with Omni-Man. This is just cruel. That was just for fun. That was just for the effect.
I have no desire to crush the great beast a third time.
Oh, is that the devil himself? Satan, yeah.
Tell Satan, I am the great beast now.
Wow.
He
This is a big day for Volcanica.
is nothing.
Can you tell him yourself? I'd rather not deliver that message. Oh no, she's still alive. At least you get to apologize. That's brutal. I feel like this is a missed opportunity for like a heavy metal soundtrack.
I need not be summoned.
Oh, that's Satan.
I heard the chaos and thunder of your battle deep in my sanctuary.
And why didn't you help? Thanks for nothing. Well, we're really in a sinking ship here, huh?
Your sister's fury is a wonderful thing. Oh, don't worry, Domina.
Imagine just being in this state.
If widened parameters of spell, what could be brought down? But desperate now.
What are they about to unleash? Oh god, this is so terrible. Oh, cool. That's a good sign. That's a good start. You know it's gonna be epic when chains come out.
What was that?
Wait, is it actually Mark?
The sun carries his blood.
You could have just called.
Damien Darkblood?
Wait, so did the ritual just call Eve's cell phone? Right. Yeah, the greatest evil, the most apocalyptic being conceivable, Mark Grayson.
Yeah, I was kind of in the middle of something.
Invincible?
Oh, this was the job.
I am eternal. But
Eternally
I can no longer bear this
misogynistic.
burden of a doom.
Wait, what are you doing?
A suitable
Well, I guess I have no choice but to be a woman. Oh no. So it's come to this. How embarrassing. What are you, some kind of woman?
This isn't.
You
so
might like it.
bad.
Who knows? You might find it suits you. It's such a long time coming.
Oh, the male flew her here. Curses!
You gotta walk.
If only this one had the powers of.
Invincible. There's the heavy metal for 1 second.
Satan, meet.
What an invincible. Okay, more than just a second.
That's...
This would be cool. It's sort of an honor.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No, you don't understand. It's not the point. We're working for Satan somehow. Because, I mean, we have no choice, I guess.
You didn't bring me to hell to fight.
You would think, right?
No.
Believe it or not, there's something worse than Satan. Satan's fallen upon hard times.
Violence like that is merely foreplay for my
Okay,
kind.
goodbye. I'm leaving.
Dude, gross.
Which is worse, having to put up with Satan's fetishes or becoming a woman? There is something pretty funny about the fact that Walmart is so concerned about his identity and his trajectory. He is called to hell to help Satan. I mean, I don't think you have to help, right?
Hell is actually real.
It's a real place.
Demons, Satan,
Mark has a very interesting job. No 2 days are alike.
surface dwellers live in 6th age of existence, unaware of previous 5.
Wow, this is some crazy existence lore.
Satan and demons are of 5th age. We do not speak of 3rd age.
Oh, so it's like the 1970s. Got it.
Without demon sacrifice, humans never
We've done all the heavy
evolve,
lifting,
never grow.
so you can live in peace. Forgive me for being skeptical.
Thanks, I guess.
Our sacrifice is not
Right.
entirely
Right.
altruistic.
Yeah.
Unending torture was
That's
already
foreplay
our
for
thing.
you, I guess.
So if I wanted to leave, I just need to fly up.
Mark eyeing the exits.
You don't understand. I'm the wrong guy for this.
Actually, I feel like
Send
this
me
maybe
home.
is just the right
If
one.
Volcanica and Vile not stopped, no home to return to.
I'll just make things worse.
No, I feel like this is an easier one, actually. I think you need something like this where there actually is none of the risk that he's worried about. As much as I would respect you on some level for doing so, I don't actually think you need to worry about killing Volcanica. Just taking Volcanica at face value that she's like a lava monster that wants to destroy existence or something. I think this is a nice one. This is maybe a pleasant change for once. There's no dilemma. You could just superhero it all the way out. I mean, it almost would be weird if you declined this in favor of one where you like killed a human. Maybe spending some time in hell is the best thing that Mark could do. Just for some perspective. Perspective is really important, honestly. Personally, I think that a lot of the differences in the ways people perceive the world and their evaluations of it have to do largely with just what their expectations are and what their baseline for comparison is. So if you grew up maybe not explicitly believing, but just having absorbed the idea through the fact that your life was generally pleasant, that that is somehow the default state of things, that life on Earth for biological creatures or humans is somehow meant to be pleasant, or that material abundance is the norm, you know, maybe you think life would be perfect, but for some group or problem you've identified, you know, if it wasn't for that, everything would be great. Going back to Misanthropic Dinosaur or whatever his name was a couple episodes ago, this idea that humans are a plague, the fact that me saying humans are not a plague always elicits some sort of pushback. Like if it weren't for humans, nature would just be a beautiful, abundant paradise with zero death, no pain or suffering of animals of any kind. That pain and cruelty are human inventions if it wasn't for humans, as opposed to the idea of like, no, humans actually were born into the world of pain and suffering, and somehow over hundreds of thousands of years managed to carve out a place where there's something more than pain and suffering, where we actually can imagine and experience what abundance feels like. All the people that died to create civilization and society, so that we can just turn around and say that it's a curse and undermine it, you know, because the trees or whatever. But I digress.
Already as worse as can get.
Stop! Oh my, stop! Just
Stop convincing me, damn it.
No other options.
You have no choice.
if I help you, will you send me home?
Yes.
I'm not hurting anyone, okay?
You can hurt Volcanica, it's okay. We'll forgive you.
You will retrieve what will restore
Okay,
me.
there's a little bit, we gotta be a little bit uncomfortable here though, right? Like he's literally making a deal with the devil. This is maybe slightly more treacherous than making a deal with, what's his name? The rock guy? Titan?
There.
Speaking of Titan, he's flying him around the same way. Damien Darkblood complains a lot less.
The Viltrumites sentenced him to execution.
Unsure if should offer condolences or congratulations.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty nicely.
Let's get it over with.
Yeah, let's just do it, I guess.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, right. We didn't know he could do that, I don't think, until this episode.
Allow gravity to help. Just catch before bottom.
Don't tune out either.
Oh, this
Might
is
be
easy.
fun. Sort of just enjoy it. But don't tune out. Pay attention.
Hey, if there's a hell, does that mean there's a heaven too?
Great question.
No one keeping track of good deeds, bad deeds.
Right.
If world ever brought truly to sight of good, no need for balance. Make earth heaven instead of imaginary one in sky.
Heaven is a place on earth, yeah. The thought that hits me from that is like, yeah, why would the record matter? Why would somebody keeping track of it matter? For what? For praise or punishment? Well, those are sort of a layer removed from the actual thing, right? Like the goodness itself is good. The praise for the goodness is secondary to the goodness. That in itself should be the thing. Also, I think that the non-religious way to maybe reconcile ideas of heaven and hell is that if you believe that there is some standard of goodness at all, even if that is just specific to humans, well then at any given moment, our choices fall somewhere on that spectrum. And there is a conceptual sort of eternity to that in the fact that those now are written into the history of existence itself. Everything you do, every action you make is like being solidified into that potentially eternal life stream. And, you know, we don't know if we get more than one chance at it. So like if you live a hellish, let's say, existence, well, I mean, you're just sort of eternity in hell. If you live a heavenly existence, well, then your deeds are sort of eternally in heaven. This is for out there, but there also maybe is a redemptive thing there because even the hellish actions, the things that were in themselves harmful or or counter to values that build whatever thing the universe is trying to build. I don't know, whatever goodness is. Well, like harm and destruction and going against growth or progress or whatever it is has its place because it's informative. You know, if you're awake and you have a goal and you make the same mistake over and over again, well, probably eventually, especially given an eternity, you're going to figure that out based on that feedback. And so people who sin have their place also. And I think there maybe is a corollary for that in our immediate existences, where you can forgive people who have done terrible things once there's no longer any negative fallout of their actions. The results of their evil have been kind of undone, and maybe we're better for it. And that's maybe the beginning of when someone can be forgiven. You know, it's all water under the bridge when like you fully turned the corner on it. Though of course some things take more than a lifetime for that. And then also, whatever you want to say about heaven or hell, even if you do believe that there actually is some sort of heaven state or hell state in a very literal way, it doesn't really make any sense to me to use that to invalidate the importance and significance of life while you're living it. Because that much you absolutely know, and it's what's in front of you right now.
Worked with Father many times. Omni-Man never asked questions, only hit things.
You're not your father, turns out.
There is detective in you.
That's high praise, I guess.
Why do you keep doing that?
It's so cool and fun.
Every time you talk, it peels off your head and then it comes back when you're done.
Can't talk with it on.
Speak more clearly to that helmet.
It's slightly more convenient and comfortable. Mark just derailed this whole conversation.
They must have thought about it. Right?
This is weird.
Like,
This
what's
is
the
not the conversation I would
situation
think
where
to
you put your
have
helmet
with
on
like
and off that way?
Satan's henchmen.
A sneak attack?
My kind armored this way since before time.
That's just how we do things around here.
And how is that better than a solid helmet? You could just take those off and like hold them if you need to.
But it's so much cooler if it's automatic.
Looks cool.
Right, I get it.
It's super weird. Like, what was the problem that this was a solution to?
Hands free. I hate having things in my hands. I will do anything for my wife except hold something for her. I'm not holding it. Take a backpack. I'll wear a backpack. You can put as much as you want in it. All I ask is that you allow me to keep my hands free. Who likes carrying stuff? I would love an automatic helmet. Plus, it looks really cool.
All right, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you admit it. It's awesome. I also like the neon lights or whatever they are. This is a pretty cool key item. There it is. Okay.
You okay?
No.
Where was your helmet?
Don't worry, I'll catch you again.
What?
Oh, you're going up. Guess you just gotta wait. May as well relax. So far, so good, I guess. I mean, you were doing this before. I guess this time, a lot harder to trust that Mark's gonna catch you. He's not next to you. You're not just, having a little witty banner. There you go. It came through.
It's not as hot as it looks.
Is Cerberus dead? Did it hurt the dog? Hell turns out to be pretty chill place. Not so bad. I don't trust you.
No.
What? What's the problem? Okay.
Crown fragile.
It fell all the way down the bottomless pit.
I rose from the blackened ash.
And now Mark
of
really regretting it.
chaos.
Skip.
Our kind grew fat and satiated,
And therefore weak.
but also weak.
Right. That's the cycle, they say. There it is. I've been waiting for the medal this whole time. Right. It just fits so well. Ugh. Yeah, all right.
My lord.
Am I supposed to do that too? No thanks.
I'm not bowing to say.
I respect that. Yeah. I'm not bowing to him. I'm just, restoring his power and rule, bringing him back to life in service to him. That's something I heard repeated a lot of like strong men make good times and good times make weak men or whatever. Weak men bring bad times. And there's something compelling about that idea. Not unreasonable to think that there's some truth to it, right? But something to add to that maybe, and going back to what I was saying about expectations. There's something to be grateful for there. Things are so bad because they're so good. We get to live in such comfort, like how terrible. I think the important part of that idea is the perspective of like, these good times are not guaranteed. You have to preserve them.
You know. Otherwise, why become hero? Why help others if others not worth helping?
Thanks, Damien Darkblood.
I helped you get the crown. Just send me back.
Getting too
already.
close to home here. Why won't you just let me fall?
Demons not torture vile. All die.
No. That's bullshit. There's always another way that doesn't involve torture or killing.
Maybe true, yeah. That would be the higher answer.
Have not found yet.
Option C.
And world could not wait.
While I think that's so cool and so high-reaching, and I love just the way he's thinking, you then would sort of have to provide it. Because what you probably don't want or are not okay with is undoing it with no solution, and it goes back to exactly what Damien Darkblood is warning about. It's very easy to notice problems, and it's very easy to tear down. Anyone can do that. But are you fully aware of what you're tearing down? Are you fully aware of the risks? Are you not inviting something worse? Perhaps there is very good reason why the things you hate and all the evils you found exist in the first place. You can't half-ass the solution. This, I think, actually is fundamentally maybe Mark's dilemma, right? It's not that he doesn't believe in good, he doesn't believe in people, or that he doesn't believe in himself. He's just finding out that it's a lot harder than he thought, and there's a lot more to it than he thought. He's upgraded to the next plateau of his awareness of what the challenge is and what's important.
Need
You're speaking
help
my language.
One more time. Defeat Volcanica.
Oh yeah, Volcanica.
Stop Vile. Please.
Can I have one of your automatic helmets?
Then take her.
Your axe? Speaking of cool key items, I feel like there's a story behind this axe that we're not getting yet. There it is. Right. Wow, there's paternal legacy in this.
I've had as much of your shit as I could take, lady.
Weird. Satan gets a helmet too. At least he leads the front lines. It's pretty noble of Satan, actually. There's got to be some other way, right? Also, I hope Mark's been briefed. He needs to know that she's potentially immortal. I don't think his usual punching.
It's all you guys.
Yeah, support, I guess. This is a support mission for Mark. Oh, it's raining blood. There goes the budget, maybe. There you go. There you go. That's useful. What are you doing? We're just standing here dramatically. Not the helmet! We need that for protection, looking cool, and also my eyes.
Only fitting for a family heirloom.
Uh-oh, you lost Daddy's axe. Where did it go? It just left. The axe is like, goodbye. It's not looking great. Mark's just punching these things that don't matter.
This is your last adventure, detective.
This is foreplay for Satan, though.
I can't let you do that.
Yeah. Satan was actually telling the truth here.
And how do you intend to stop them?
Just with straight up punching. There you go, you can do that. See, it's fine. There's a place for it. There's a place for you to do this. Very similar to the way he killed Russ. Probably not an accident. Also, eating my words about, like, you can't just solve this with your usual punching. That was very much his usual punching. I guess that's it, maybe? Thank you. Wow, you just saved all of humanity.
And then everyone else. Even if the Guardians or someone managed to stop her, people still would have died.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah,
Invincible.
that didn't kill her. Okay. How many times are we gonna do this, though? It's gotta be some permanent solution. Making this look easy.
Is there something we can do to stop her from just coming back again?
Right. Asking the right questions.
I will not forget this, surface dweller.
Another villain that can come back. Because, we didn't have enough already. Bye. This was a good opportunity for Mark. I think we feel invigorated,
Far
reinvigorated.
easier than anticipated.
Yeah, it's sort of embarrassing.
At least I didn't ruin another costume for once.
The Vile.
That's what they look like. Oh no, his costume! Spoke too soon. Okay, well, that was one vial.
So close.
Yeah, that hurt. So close to the end. It's like when you spill food on yourself in the last bite on your white shirt. You almost made it. You almost navigated that difficult situation unscathed. But no, just that last bite. You got a little bit careless. Now your shirt is ruined and you have to wear that stain all day. It's exactly the same situation as this. Exactly the same level of stakes.
Go.
And we saved hell, and that's
Gather
good.
your brethren.
We
Tell
have
them
discovered.
to resume their torture before the Vile can escape.
Yay. Thanks, Satan.
I'm not completely human. My father was a Viltrumite, an alien from another planet.
But my heart.
Aliens from another world. Who would believe such a thing?
Satan's skeptical of aliens.
Oh my god. It's gonna be the most gorgeous
Oh, look, it's
superpowered
William.
super baby ever. Congratulations.
Yeah, maybe, actually.
Or not.
Who knows?
No, William, this isn't something I want.
Why not?
Have you told
You need to
Mark?
tell him immediately.
Not yet.
I mean, you probably should.
You
right?
need to tell him
I
immediately.
know. I haven't found the right time.
What do you know? Here it is. It's the right time right now. We found it. Turns out it was here the whole time.
I wonder if that means his are super strong too.
Wasn't that a question they asked at some point?
I want to have children at some point.
Uh-oh.
I think I do anyway, but
This sounds like a great conversation to have with Mark immediately.
You sound
unsure.
Yes, she does sound unsure, William.
Then talk to him.
Yes, please. Yes,
For the
that's
love of
right.
God, talk to him.
You are right,
instead of
William.
me.
Yes.
Sorry. Here
No,
for
that
you,
is
babe.
correct. That is the right answer. Okay, this is not the happy announcement that it perhaps could have been. That's not brisk, baby.
Good for you, kid.
Yeah, this turned out to be a great experience. It was sort of perfect. Thank you, Satan. Wow, look at the old costume. It looks good. I didn't realize I missed it until I saw it. Back to the roots, but not exactly the same person anymore. This is the second time in this season there's been something playing with the uniforms, right? There's also Oliver. It's not the same. It's not going back to ignorance. It's still going forward, but it's returning to what matters more fully realized, which I think is great. Yeah, again, with the whole expectations thing, a lot of the time you're sort of by necessity on the forefront of what you can handle, and it's going to be really challenging. And if you judge that too severely, too harshly, and too much in isolation, right? Like this issue, this problem you're having right now, this struggle that you don't know how to solve is just what you are and what your state will be for eternity without, seeing the full trajectory, realizing that there are peaks and valleys and there are plateaus, that problems often are temporary if you continue to keep your head up and look for a solution and very often just wait, then yeah, it's going to be stifling and you're going to be tempted to give up and take easy answers. But there is a reason you're here. There's a reason you were pushing yourself in the first place. And it's great that you were able to get to this point at all where you're now struggling. Sometimes all it takes to remember is just to get a small win, just to get a taste of what it felt like again. You're like, oh yeah, I remember. This is why I'm doing it. I still got it. And this is what matters to me. This is why I do it. The failure and the pain and the immediate struggle looks very different when contextualized into that whole thing, the whole process. Now, look what Mark's gone through, all the things he survived. And he still wants to do good and protect humanity. This is a repeat, right? We've seen this before? I feel like it's an echo of something we've seen in the past. Enjoy this moment. Cool.
As
Show
I'm
off.
sure you've noticed, Paul and I have become very close.
Oh, finally get to the really important plot point. Cohabitating, double kitchen islands.
We've been talking a lot, and we both want to take our relationship to the next level. So
So we're buying a house together without getting married, which is really weird. I don't really get that, but okay.
I don't want to live with Paul. He's boring.
He is boring.
But nice.
Yeah, that's right. He's boring but nice.
Boring.
Exactly.
I wanted to tell you both
I mean,
first.
maybe Mark could just buy it from her,
I can't
I'll buy
believe
it from
this
you.
right now.
He has money.
Paul's a great guy, and I'm glad you're moving forward with him.
I don't think it's how he feels, but
Thank you.
it's nice that he said that. He's prioritizing what really matters.
Mark, your mom said you were out here. Hello? Earth to Mark.
Sorry,
He just straight up ignored her.
Are you okay?
I am not. I'm not okay,
That's all right.
but
That's perfectly all right.
maybe I'm getting there.
Yes, I believe
There's never going to be a good time for this, but
now is the right time.
Holy shit.
Uh-oh. Is it Omni-Man? Whoa! Oh my god! Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mark.
Yeah.
There's no other way.
Yeah. Oh my god. Wow, this is so crazy.
War is upon us.
Yeah, he's also not going to be happy about them selling the house. I don't think. Or maybe he wouldn't care at this point. I don't know. I don't think he really cares about Debbie now, if he ever did. Though, I don't know, he's very proud. Yeah, that's the real question of this series and this season. How will Omni-Man respond to Debbie selling the house and finding a new love? Funnily enough, like, Omni-Man coming back actually does make that plotline seem really significant. There it is. We found what it was there for. We found its significance. So this is not at all the episode I expected. I was expecting this episode to be sort of what the cliffhanger was for the next episode, because, all of the stars were aligning towards that. That said, I think there's something really cool and nice about having that for Mark. That feels really good to me and also convincing. Like I said, we're always sort of on the forefront of our lives. And just naturally, we focus on the things that demand attention, which are the things that are not stable, not so good, can go wrong, are unformed, are novel. And it ebbs and flows, but like it'll be especially bad in certain periods, depending on the circumstances and how much we're trying to take on. And so there are moments where it'll just seem like that's what it is. That's all life is. It's just struggle all the way down and we're failing and we can't effectuate our own lives correctly, etc. But of course, there's another perspective to be had there, which is that circumstance plays a large role in it and you're doing your best to address the circumstance. And nothing about this was supposed to be easy. Though it's nice to be happy, maybe the point isn't even necessarily your happiness or feeling good. Maybe the point is just to do the right thing. And it's going to be uncomfortable, but that is sort of what it takes. I think the really cool logical structure from some of the great hero shows is something like, wow, this is terrible, and yet I'm going to do the right thing. Like in Haikyuu, turns out I'm average, or I'm afraid I'm average. Well then, if I am average, how can I afford to spend any time looking down at my feet? Or My Hero, like the situation is terrible and people are falling. But if I can't reach out a hand to people who are falling that I care about, can I even call myself a hero? The proof isn't in lack of difficulty or in perfection or total failure avoidance. In fact, you can make the argument that that probably means you're not actually living to that point of potential. You're just not pushing yourself enough. You're leaving a lot left in the tank. The point is maybe something more like trying to do the right thing and to persevere. And if you've made it to this point, you've got something, right? You've made it this long, you've done this much, you've overcome however many difficulties you have in your life, and you're still standing. Whatever you value in your life, you know, some of that is circumstance, but some of that is you. Whatever good relationships you have, whatever successes you have, however minor they may feel from time to time, especially comparatively, those are yours. That is something that you clearly are capable of because you've got to this point. If you use as the standard for evaluating yourself perfection, then you're going to be sorely disappointed and in a lot of pain. But you have something good, clearly. And there's something in there that you probably really care about and that lights you up, even if sometimes that gets drowned out by either the mundanity of it or just circumstantial pressures hitting walls, but it's there. So it was really nice to see Mark have that moment where he's flying around in his original suit, to kind of have that reflection of like, he wasn't warped. You know, he didn't lose anything. He just realized it was harder than he thought. You know, he hit upon a new challenge. Early innocent Mark was really good, right? He had that spark, but he also was just untested. So his conception about what he would be and, you know, how he would never do anything wrong and his lines, while really noble and high-spirited, partly was just him not accurately assessing the nature of the world. And that has come to bear, right? Like he has a much, much fuller understanding of the world and life. And so now those two things can combine. He still is Mark. He still is himself. That's never gone away, but he understands the challenge better. And so it feels like he will be able to overcome it. Sometimes I think the best evaluators of a person are not in the moment to moment thing, but in their processing, you know, and where they go with things. So some people have pointed this out to him, but Mark has this core where he sort of can't unsee it. You know, he can't unsee the things he cares about and his love for people in his life, which I think, you know, he can then abstract into humanity at large. He never loses that, or that being a part of his reasoning. So with that as kind of a foundational element, he will kind of recalibrate. It feels really good that he was able to be useful, even if it was in a very bizarre way, in a bizarre place.
Something the humans are doing has enraged her. Find out what and report to me.
There you go. You got some detective work already.
May be a need for my scorched flesh to be kissed by the gentle heat of the sun.
Satan's way more sweet than I thought, which is kind of disturbing. I don't really like it. He's kind of a softie. What is it that we're doing that Satan or Volcanica doesn't like? Maybe it's Cecil, his weird experiments. We're upsetting the balance somehow. Humans are just a parasite on the earth. We are a plague, as was prophesied by Dino Man. Won't someone think of the trees? All that said, I'm so excited for Omni-Man's return and all the craziness that that's gonna bring. Good thing that Mark sort of got this handled, right? He had this moment to breathe because I just feel like everything is about to get turned upside down.